We're now standing in front of the Yale investment office. As you can see, it's kind of unmarked. Because they're afraid of us knowing what they're doing. Okay.
What are they doing?
What are they doing? Okay. Let me tell you. We know that throughout this movement, we've been misconstrued by the media. So while we're here at the investments office, I'd like to outline what our demands are as students advocating for divestment. There are three: disclose, divest, and reinvest. What do we mean when we say disclose, divest, reinvest? We mean that the Yale endowment numbers $40 billion. This is the second largest university endowment in the nation. This is larger than the GDP of 90 countries. And this money isn't going to the city of New Haven. Shame. We have very little idea of how this money is held. We have even less of an idea of where this money is going. Yale has 181 asset managers and shell companies to manage and distance itself from its own investments. Out of the $40 billion endowment, only $130 million of it is publicly traceable. That means that 97%, or $39.6 billion, is in a black box that is unaccountable to the people, students, and faculty of Yale University and of New Haven.
Shame on Yale.
Shame.
This is why the first demand is to disclose the endowment.
Yeah.
So that we know where the money is and where it's going. But from $130 million, we can get an okay idea of what's up. From what's publicly traceable, we know that Yale is invested in 6,500 shares of funds containing defense companies which are arming the Israeli military.
Ooh.
These are Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and others, all of which have seen a boom in their stock as of October 7th. These are war profiteers with Palestinian blood on their hands.
Yes.
This is Yale's public exposure to weapons manufacturing. We also know that Yale has a history of profiteering. In 2018, activists discovered that the Yale Investment Office made profits from hundreds of millions of dollars in Puerto Rican debt. Meaning that while the people of Puerto Rico lost electricity, lost water, lost their homes after Hurricanes Maria and Irma, the Yale Investment Office sat pretty on gains made from the exploitatively high interest rates in Puerto Rican bonds.
Viva Puerto Rico libre, fuera Yankee del Caribe.
Yale has invented this investment strategy. They call it the Yale model. Every large university endowment looks here for reference on how to make the most profit. They put the people's money in high-risk, aggressive investments, looking to make the most money they can, including at the cost of human life. They will profit off of natural disaster. They will profit off of war. They have profited off of South African apartheid in the past, and they are doing so in the occupied territories now. Based on this institution's brutal repression of its own students, they are profiting inordinate amounts off of the Israeli genocide in Gaza. So we call for divestment. We also know the results of where Yale's money does and does not go. When Yale makes cash off the death of the global oppressed, they will use the dividends to fund Yale Police Department's brutality and assault on its students and New Haven residents.
Shame.
Meanwhile, Yale will cut costs on student mental health services. Meanwhile, Yale will buy 60% of New Haven land and pay no taxes on it.
Same.
While community members are out of food and homes. While community members are out of food and homes, Yale withholds $146 million that they should be paying in property tax. They withhold money to finance food security, affordable housing, daycares. This is why we ask that Yale disclose, divest, and reinvest in the city of New Haven. In these moments, we are obligated to recall the playbook of the colonizer. That is, the colonizer's first priority is to take the land from the people. They will occupy it. They will levy taxes. They will reduce the wealth of the colonized such that the colonized must sell their land to their own colonizers. The colonizer will coerce the people to pay rent. They will raise taxes and rent so damn high that the colonizers cannot afford food. That the colonized cannot afford food. The colonized people will be put to the brink of starvation, where they will work and can't afford to live. And if the colonized resist, what happens? The oppressor will constrict police to beat them into submission. If they resist further, the oppressor will constrict an army and attack them. They will construct a system of fear and control to keep the colonized afraid. So long as the people are terrified, they will not rebel, and meanwhile, while the colonized die, the oppressors will cut their bills. We are watching the work of the colonizers in Gaza as they invade Rafah and kill innocent men, women, and children without regard. We have seen the colonizers in South Africa. We have seen them in Vietnam. We have seen them in the Congo. We see them in New Haven. Everywhere in the world we find the oppressed and the oppressors extracting their profits from them. Everywhere we find ourselves and the exploiters that profit off of us. We are watching the work of the colonizers at Yale profit from the colonized around the world and beat down and profit from the colonized in New Haven. But I ask, are we afraid?
No!
Are we afraid?
No!
Palestine is under attack. New Haven is under attack. Our students are under attack. What do we do?
Fight back!
What do we do?
Fight back!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're continuing this way, going towards Bonney Field. We're going to tumble, take up towards